Just in the last 30 days, we've seen multiple people overdosing in the streets of Seattle while covering the fentanyl crisis. This day, the user was revived with Narcan after being found unresponsive and not breathing. But this user in an alley behind 2nd and Pike could not be saved. Was it common to lose friends to this drug?
Yeah, man. I lost really good people to it.
The CDC says one of the problems is that this drug, fentanyl, is being laced into other drugs and people may not even know that they're taking it. So they warn any sort of drug use could potentially be fatal. Reporting live in Seattle.
What's your name?
My name is Haakon. I'm 31. I'm from Kitsap, but I was born in Guam. I come from the white-collar class of family. The relationship I have with my family is wonderful. I have a loving, caring family that appreciate and accept and have always loved me and are always there for me. The first drug I tried was marijuana. I first tried harder drugs probably around the age of 17 or 16. My introduction to opioids was through heroin. It had been probably 4 years after doing heroin that I transitioned into doing blues and Fetty. The transition was caused by simply it just not being available, like heroin not being around. I went away from the city for a few months, and when I came back, I spent a good 2-3 hours trying to find some heroin, and no one had any. I was kind of forced to try and partake in blues. Yeah, there's absolutely no one on the block that had it. I'd like to think that I would be able to obtain it if it was available, but yeah, nobody had any. I would say a heroin high is a very comforting, not so abrasive, like intoxicating high. Through my experience, I'm a smoker. I don't shoot. And with fentanyl, it's just very, or other like blues, it's very quickly intoxicating. Like it's just, there's like no handle on it. You can't really gradually like consume enough to where you know the line or like the barrier of where like you're good or you've had too much. It's just uncontrollably intoxicating. Versus heroin, which is very, in my experience, manageable to be able to obtain the, consuming like factor that you want with using. Like, it's crazy. The difference from withdrawing between heroin and other opiates is, it's demoralizing, I guess. With my experience, withdrawing from heroin was something I always felt like I had like control over. Like I would always kind of just set myself aside from like others that I've heard when they would withdraw from heroin that it was like so bad, or like things that I have read where other people's experiences where like they couldn't take it. It was just this horrible like experience. I never really got that with heroin withdrawals. Maybe a stuffy nose or like, just feeling not as well as I normally would. But with fentanyl, I never experienced such a needing like necessity of having like something that I was taking or consuming every day, like just not being able to control your bowel movements, and then not being able or like feeling the need or want to like take care of that after it's happened, because you like literally can't move or get up, or just the more immediate withdrawals with fentanyl is just a lot of emotional kind of roller coaster kind of feelings, like just like not having it and then going through some sort of interaction in public with someone, or like, you know, anything negative, like the quick response to just want to just use fentanyl, like because of that, it feeling like doing things to obtain it because like you don't have it from negative interactions from just everyday people. Like it's crazy. Like I feel like I get a really big emotional, mental kind of effect, or you know, with withdrawing or not having fentanyl. But that's like an immediate kind of a withdrawal. But the physical withdrawals are nuts. Like just it's crazy. Like stuff you read about or like, you know, hear about, that's like in people that have cases that are extreme. Like it's like that with just like the littlest amount of usage. It's nuts. I noticed a shift through kind of through the media before I noticed it out on, you know, my block or these streets. You know, just it was just stuff I would hear about, like, you know, in songs or like whatnot, or a lot of the crowd that was like a younger age than I am, or like, you know, like the younger people would you know, talk about it or whatnot. But I hadn't seen a blue or heard of fentanyl until I came back from being away, and it was just crazy. Probably maybe 4 years ago. 4 years from now, so 2023, so 2019. I would say the percentage around the people around here and on the streets that have mental health issues is very, very great. I'd say maybe 80% of people have mental health issues, and maybe only 20% of those people are diagnosed or even willing to confront the acceptance of knowing that they may have mental health issues. I'd say the impact that drugs or other substances have on people that have mental health issues is probably 100% of an effect, like no matter what. Even if it's not affecting their actual diagnosis, I'm sure it's affecting like them just being a variable from everyday people, or just other things that, you know, will trigger or have like some sort of factor in whatever it is that they have mental health issues with. So yeah, I'd say 100%. Yeah, so the effects and impact that Fetty or fentanyl may be having on people that are consuming it is all over the board, I would say. I mean, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I mean, sometimes when I do fentanyl, I make animal noises. I bark, I meow, and it's just like I've heard other stories where people do other weird, erratic things, but you know, if it isn't having the effect on someone's mental health that they have in that moment, it might be having the effect on creating a mental health problem through its use. So the effects that, you know, it's having on people that are using it, I can't say, but I definitely can say that there is some sort of strings that are being strung, you know, with that, having it attached to it. So with tester kits, let's say you're trying to, you know, figure out what's in your, if you have fentanyl. So the tester kits that they have are tester kits for fentanyl. So when you're testing drugs, at least in my experience, with a actual testing kit, not just, oh, I tried this and it made me feel this way. You need the most littlest amount to have the test work, or be applied to say whether it is false or negative. And that being said, they could have the littlest amount of a drug in a mixture cocktail of a bunch of other drugs, and if that tester kit is strictly for one substance, like a fentanyl tester kit, then it would only show the small amount of fentanyl that would be in that drug versus all the other drugs that could be in it. The craziest drug-related event I've seen is I saw a friend of mine get shot in a area I was in a tent. I was